Prime Minister Davis says the country will cushion the blow from tariffs. The government will. Higher prices expected, though. The U.S. Embassy again warning tourists to avoid renting jet skis. And the government signs energy deals. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
It's a new day. Wake up. It's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Thursday, April 10th, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Laverne Gardner will be joining us. Also this morning, we'll tell you about a special Easter event at Nassau Cruise Port and some great deals in store with that. All the details coming up. Later in business, we're talking about climate change with the Environmental Advisory Unit responsible for that and about the Youth Ambassador Program. That's all ahead, but first, it's time for The Overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, acknowledging that the Bahamas is facing new and very significant challenges due in part to tariffs announced by U.S. President Donald Trump, Prime Minister Philip Davis in a national address says that he will explore various avenues to minimize the blow to the local economy, but he was short on specific initiatives likely to have any immediate meaningful impact. The Bahamas, among the countries now subjected to a 10% base rate tariff on goods exported to the United States. Other countries have been hit by additional tariffs, though Trump yesterday announced a 90-day pause for countries facing higher U.S. tariffs. Trump's trade policy has triggered turbulence in global markets, sparking a great deal of uncertainty and widespread fears of a looming U.S. economic recession. Prime Minister Davis said he wanted to be straightforward with the Bahamian people on how the new tariffs will affect the Bahamas. He says if the 10% tariff on Bahamian goods imported into the United States remains, Bahamian exporters in multiple industries will feel the impact soon. He says, quote, "We've been in contact with U.S. officials regarding the change in policy, and we're working with fellow Caribbean countries on collective diplomatic efforts." He advised that his administration is also speaking with Bahamian exporters and working to understand whether there are short-term policies that can be enacted to cushion the fallout. Amid reports that American tourists were recently raped and sexually assaulted by jet ski operators, the U.S. Embassy in Nassau is again warning visitors to avoid jet skis. In a security alert issued yesterday, the embassy said that Nassau jet ski operators, quote, have raped and sexually assaulted U.S. citizen women. It said 2 American women reported rapes in the past month and that 3 rapes were reported, saying that women victims reported that male jet ski operators picked them up from downtown Nassau and Paradise Island beaches, including the areas from Junkanoo Beach to Saunders Beach. The statement says the victims said they were raped and assaulted on isolated islands near New Providence. It also says that since August 2024, 4 U.S. citizens were hospitalized with injuries from jet ski accidents. Of these, 2 needed emergency evacuations to the United States due to their injuries. The government signing 3 contracts for renewable energy and liquefied natural gas systems at the Office of the Prime Minister. One contract covers solar for New Providence, while the other 2 develop hybrid systems for Abaco and Exuma. And the Ministry of Health and Wellness breaking ground on a new Coconut Grove Advanced Health Center on Blue Hill Road. The center will cost over $10.5 million and will be completed in 15 months. Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville says the facility is expected to reduce some of the pressure on Princess Margaret Hospital. A teenager formerly charged with the murder of a 27-year-old father of 3 Akeem Nixon, otherwise known as Keemy, is accused of the March 11th murder of Edward Thompson, the 18-year-old. Accused of shooting Thompson while he was walking along Fleming Street in New Providence. He was shot by an assailant on a bicycle. Nixon did not have to enter a plea to the murder charge when he made his initial court appearance before Chief Magistrate Roberta Reckley. The matter is adjourned to July 12th for the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. And arrested and charged with child cruelty after a 3-year-old boy was burned while in her care. Prosecutors allege that 64-year-old Judy Spence placed the child in scalding hot water and burned his bottom on March 31st. Spence denied the allegation at her arraignment in Nassau before Assistant Chief Magistrate Carolyn Vogue Evans. Her bail was set at $5,000 with 1 or 2 sureties. As condition of her bail, Spence has to wear an ankle bracelet and sign in at the Wolf Road Police Station. Her trial is set for May 6th. And a 44-year-old man who indecently assaulted his niece was ordered to pay her $5,000 in compensation to avoid spending 8 months in prison. The man caressed his 17-year-old niece's thigh and hugged and kissed her while giving her driving lessons on April 6th. He pleaded guilty to the charge of indecent assault at his arraignment before Assistant Chief Magistrate Carolyn Vogue Evans. The man returns to court today to pay the compensation to his victim. He will also be placed on probation for a year. If he's convicted of any offense while on probation, he'll have to pay a $5,000 fine. If the fine isn't paid, he will serve a default sentence of 8 months in prison. Overseas rescue crews in the Dominican Republic today digging through the remains of a legendary nightclub whose roof collapsed earlier this week. We told you about this yesterday. The death toll now up to 184 people, and hope of finding survivors slim right now. Meanwhile, dozens of people in the capital of Santo Domingo still searching for their loved ones, growing frustrated upon getting no answers after visiting hospitals at the country's Forensic Institute. Doctors warning that some of the 24 patients who remained hospitalized were still not in the clear, especially the 8 who were in critical condition. One doctor saying that the injuries include fractures in the skull, femur, and pelvis caused by slabs of cement falling on those attending that merengue concert at the Jet Set nightclub in Santo Domingo, where more than 200 were injured. The government said Wednesday night that it was moving to recovery phase, focused on finding bodies. The director of the Center for Emergency Operations said crews at the scene are still looking for victims and potential survivors, although no one has been found alive since Tuesday afternoon. In sports, Team Bahamas expected to be strong in the sprint hurdles at the Carifta Games this Easter. There's a new phenomenon brewing in track and field locally, and it's the sprint hurdles on the junior side. The Bahamas loaded in that area heading into the 52nd Games set for Trinidad and Tobago. There were 7 qualifiers for the Carifta Games in the 4 divisions at the Splice and Connect B3A's Carifta Trials over the weekend. As a result, the Bahamas will be well represented, as there will be 8 athletes competing, 2 in each age group. You can read about all their names in today's Guardian Sports section. From the NBA, Luka Doncic always knew it was going to be an emotional return to Dallas when wearing his number 77 Los Angeles Lakers jersey in the place he called home for his first 5.5 seasons in the NBA. The Mavericks last night showing a more than 2-minute video tribute before he had even been introduced. In his first game back Wednesday night, 2 months after being traded, Doncic watched while sitting on the bench with tears in his eyes and wondering if he would even be able to get through the game. Well, he did Even better, Doncic matching his season high with 45 points in a 112-97 victory that clinched a playoff spot for his Lakers. He already had 14 points on 5 of 9 shooting with threes in the first 10.5 minutes. And from the NFL, Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill having some more problems. He and his wife were involved in a domestic dispute at their South Florida high-rise condominium, but no charges have been filed. Sunny Isles Beach officers responded to the home Monday following a call from his mother-in-law, who began living with the couple in November, shortly after her granddaughter was born. The mother-in-law telling responding officers that the 31-year-old Hill was aggressive and impulsive and that she was afraid for her daughter. She said Hill threw a laptop on the floor and grabbed his baby before walking towards a balcony. At sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Weather brought to you by Star General. Here's what's happening. We've got an Atlantic low-pressure area supporting a cold front that's draped across the central Bahamas now. Unsettled weather associated with this front is along the frontal boundary and heading into the southeast Bahamas today. The same low-pressure system is generating fresh winds and choppy seas across the northern islands, and that will be you'll continue to experience that as that low moves away from the islands through tonight. So the front's going to meander and weaken between the central and southeast Bahamas through Friday ahead of a reinforcing front that will enter the northern islands by Saturday. That second front's going to trek swiftly through the archipelago and merge with the weakened boundary over the southeastern islands late Saturday or Sunday. High pressure and a more stable air mass will sit across the country through next week, Wednesday, when another cold front will enter the northern islands. For the central and southeast Bahamas, with that front moving through, localized flooding is possible across parts of these areas. Heavy and prolonged showers, especially in areas already inundated with water, can be expected. Choppy seas and high surf will affect Atlantic coastlines of the northern and northwest Bahamas, and swimmers and small craft operators should not venture into these waters. Beachgoers and swimmers are advised that there remains a slight risk of rip currents along northern and eastern shorelines. So for today, for the northern and northwest Bahamas, partly to mostly sunny, 10% chance of isolated showers. Winds northeast at 15 to 20 knots for the northern islands, northwest to north at 10-15 knots, falling light and variable at times for the rest of the northwest Bahamas. A different story for the central and southeast Bahamas, cloudy to overcast today, a 30 to 60% chance of widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Winds northwest at 10 knots or less, falling light and variable at times for the central islands. Light and variable and occasionally out of the northeast at 10 knots for the southeast Bahamas. High temperatures today for the northern and northwest Bahamas, a comfortable 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Slightly warmer for the central and southeast Bahamas, 84 Fahrenheit to about 86, 87 Fahrenheit. That's 29 to 31 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight for the northern and northwest Bahamas, about 67 Fahrenheit, 22 Celsius. About 72 for the central and southeast Bahamas. That's about 24 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up in a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General Insurance.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way?
It is time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
Try the rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located at the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 32361.
As a healthcare professional, you dedicate your life to caring for others. But even with the best care, legal challenges can arise. Protect your practice and your peace of mind with medical malpractice insurance from Star General. At Star General, we've partnered with Lloyd's of London to bring you comprehensive professional liability insurance designed specifically for those consulting or practicing privately. Visit our website today so you can focus on what you do best, caring for your patients while we take care of the rest. Star General, insurance made simple.
Now listen now, 326 EPIC. Hello, this Epic battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord, it's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Celebrate life with family and friends this Easter at Nassau Cruise Port. Join us for a special Easter Tings brunch on Sunday, April the 13th from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. For $50 for adults and $25 for kids, enjoy delicious pancakes, waffles, mimosas, and more. Bring the little ones to jump around at the kitty corner. Plus, you can shop till you drop in stores like Bahari, House of Assembly, Vida Kaya, with exclusive discounts, a spring fashion show, and exciting contests on Sunday, April the 13th from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. Visit Facebook for details.
Wake up, it's a new day. Up, it's a new day.
And we're back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Laverne Gardner. Laverne, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight.
Great to have you with us as always.
It's always good to be here.
Glad to hear your
Good
voice.
morning to all of our listeners.
You've recovered. Your anniversary was yesterday, your wedding anniversary. Congratulations. Happy anniversary.
Why would you use the word recover?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you might have been celebrating. No?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What anniversary
Yes,
is this?
My anniversary was yesterday.
What anniversary was this?
My wedding anniversary.
Yes, the number. You don't want to say?
31 years.
How is that possible? You and Mark were one.
About that.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. 31 years.
Well, guess what? We're also celebrating an anniversary here on Guardian Radio. This is our 13th anniversary today, April 10th. And 2012 was the year when we started, and Morning Blend was the first show on the air, and we're still here. So it's our anniversary, too. 13 years for all of us, so we got some...
Big celebration.
Yeah, we're celebrating. We got some, well, sort of. 13 is an odd one to celebrate. But
Hey, it's a year, right?
hey, we're here. We're still here, still
We're
going.
here.
And, the things that we were concerned about back in 2012, like freedom of information and climate change and local government. Oh, boy, still the same things.
Yeah, we're
Crime.
still concerned about those
Yikes,
things.
crime, and people were all in. But hey, we're going to be celebrating, I guess. Hey, there you go. A little bit. 13, that's a weird one. But hey, we want to thank all the people who've been supporting us, the listeners, the advertisers, everybody. Thank you for helping us to get there. And if you have some well wishes, or if you want to tell us how much you hate us, you can call in and let us know. Let us know today. This is right. That's what we're going to do.
No hate today.
No?
Hate today.
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully not. But anyway, we got a lot to talk about also in the news. In the news, Prime Minister Davis says the government at least will cushion the blow from the tariffs. How will they do that? Not sure. I don't know if anybody knows how they're going to do this. There lots have been suggested, including finding alternative trade partners. But will people get the products they have grown to love, and will they settle for something different?
They may not have a choice, Dwight.
They may not have a choice. That's right. So it was a short address. I'm going to play it for you so you can hear what the Prime Minister say, about 5-6 minutes. But take a listen to what he said in a national address. I'm not sure if this was broadcast on television, but definitely was on social media. Take a listen to what Prime Minister Davis is saying.
As many of you know, 1 week ago, the United States announced new tariffs, marking a major shift in U.S. trade policy. I want to emphasize that the Bahamas has had a friendly and productive relationship with the United States for many decades. Trade, tourism, investments, cultural exchanges, these are all important aspects of our long-standing relations with our closest neighbor. This is a mutually beneficial relationship, one which will endure. But it's important to be straightforward. New tariffs will affect us. The changes and the turbulence in global markets which has followed mean we are now facing new and very significant challenges. I've been talking to leaders of other countries, reaching out to the executives in our business communities, and consulting with economists and trade experts to assess the likely impact and to plan for multiple scenarios. A new 10% base rate tariff for goods imported into the United States now applies to more than 100 countries, including ours. Other countries are also subject to additional or higher tariffs. If the 10% tariff on Bahamian goods imported into the United States remains, Bahamian exporters in multiple industries will soon feel the impact. We have been in contact with U.S. officials regarding the change in policy, and we are working with fellow Caribbean countries on collective diplomatic efforts. We are also speaking with Bahamian exporters and working to understand short-term policies we could enact to cushion the fallout. My government has taken trade diversification seriously from the start, which means that for the first time, our country has in place an agency dedicated to expanding trading opportunities and a national trade policy. Significant efforts to create new trade relationships were already underway, and those efforts will now be intensified. The new tariffs are likely to cause new inflationary pressures, which would mean high numbers. For a country like ours, higher prices will add to what is already an unbearable high cost of living. We are very concerned about the impact on Bahamian families. One of the key drivers of high prices in the Bahamas for both families and businesses has been the cost of electricity, which is why we have worked hard to create our country's first nationwide comprehensive energy reforms. Much needed and long overdue upgrades to the electricity grid are underway. And today, in fact, we are signing a number of additional agreements to power our islands with solar energy. I won't sugarcoat the dangers we are facing right now due to the escalating tensions around the world. But I'm thankful we will face this new crisis with these crucial price reducing. In addition, the VAT reduction on all food sold in our markets is providing some relief. We understand how hard it is to make ends meet, and we will continue to look for opportunities to reduce the burdens of high prices. We will also intensify and speed up our efforts to grow more of what we eat at home. Another significant risk to the Bahamas is that a slowdown in the U.S. economy will slow our tourism industry. We will be convening industry leaders as we evaluate options for mitigating the risk we face. If the new tariffs are not significantly unchanged as U.S. policy evolves. Earlier this week, the International Credit Agency, Moody's, upgraded our country's credit rating to positive. For the first time in nearly 2 decades, this was very welcome news and a reflection of the hard work we have done together to grow our economy, reduce our deficit, implement key fiscal reforms, and tackle rather than ignore our country's long-standing electricity problems. At the same time, Moody's noted that are vulnerable to external shocks, something that unfortunately every Bahamian understands well. I've worked hard to fight for fair climate finance because our country has lost billions in direct economic costs and in higher interest rates because of hurricanes. Billions we could have otherwise have invested in our people and country. Today, we face new risks amid enormous uncertainty. The U.S. tariffs are the highest they've been in more than a century. And since then, of course, the world's economies and supply chains have become intertwined in complex ways, making it difficult to predict with precision what happens next. Brothers and sisters, we may be in uncharted territory, but we know how to survive storms. We have always found a way to create opportunities out of uncertainty, to forge clarity and purpose from chaos and confusion. I've seen Bahamians show enormous strength and ingenuity during the most difficult times. Together, we can trust in God's grace and take comfort in knowing our fellow Bahamians are capable of great compassion and resilience. As one nation, together, we will pursue a constructive path forward as we seek blessings and prosperity for all of our citizens and for all of our neighbors, including our friends in the United States of America.
Okay, with his address last night. All right, so let's get your reaction to that. And there's more from the Economic Affairs Minister in the papers today as well. That's Michael Halkitis. Halkitis is in the business section today. Halkitis on tariffs. We hope reasonable minds will prevail. Our Tanika Thompson writing about it after United States President Donald Trump issued a 90-day pause on steep reciprocal tariffs on most countries. Minister of Economic Affairs Michael Halkitis said he hopes reasonable minds will prevail so that global trade can return to normal. The universal tariff in most countries was brought down to 10%, meaning the Bahamas' rate remains the same as announced last week. After Beijing officials announced new retaliatory tariffs of 84% on U.S. goods, set to take effect today, Trump said tariffs on Chinese exports to the United States will be increased from 104% to 125%. Halkitis was asked to weigh in on the shifting U.S. trade policy. He told reporters the speed at which Trump's policies are implemented and changed causes difficulties. He said, quote, "Some of the difficulty we have is the uncertainty and the speed within which policies is made and adjusted and reversed. As I've said before, I question the formula that says the U.S. has a trade deficit with the Bahamas." He went on to say, the Bahamas imports virtually everything it consumes from the U.S., so I struggle to see how we have a trade deficit with the U.S. that would justify some sort of reciprocal tariff. Be that as it may, we don't make these policies. We have to adjust for them. We have to remain vigilant. Should this tit-for-tat tariff raise economies lead to a decline in the global economy, then we have reason to be concerned. Halkitis also said growth suffers when there is too much uncertainty in the market. saying, quote, "We're hopeful that reasonableness will prevail and countries will negotiate and some of the drastic back and forth that we've seen can dissipate and things can return to a sense of normalcy." All right, let's hear from you. What do you make of what the Prime Minister said, what Halkitis is saying, and what is going on with Trump, the 90-day pause? Of course, the stock market's rejoiced about that, but it is just a 90-day pause. What will come after that? Is Trump hoping that what we saw over the past few days, that other countries will come begging and making all kinds of promises so that he can have his way? Of course, China standing firm. They're not doing it. And the two largest economies in the world are really just going at it. It's insane. And that's, of course, where we're getting all of our stuff from, China and the U.S., right? So we are going to be stuck in the middle as the elephants play. Well, Laverne, you want to say before we get to these calls?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What do you make of what's happening?
I think that the Prime Minister did an excellent job in his address in letting the country know what we are facing, what we will be facing. So he did a great job of articulating that. I wanted more solutions, but I guess maybe that will come in the next address. I was looking for my expectation was here's what we've already done, what we're continuing to do. And I say that because while we don't know what tariffs are coming and which countries will be impacted, we do know that Donald Trump is on a tariff spree. And so I would think that we would have started preparing and looking for solutions, even just saying in the event of. So at this point, I would have thought that we've got more solutions, but he articulated what our issues will be, what they are. And so, I don't know. We'll go from here, eh?
Yeah. Well, they have, that was announced a few weeks ago, but that they will be trying to get retailers, wholesalers to be looking for alternative distribution models and chains.
Yeah, we've been doing that for a while,
right?
Though, right?
But we're still heavily dependent on the U.S.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We are. And we have talked for many, many years about the fact that we import so much, about the fact that we're so dependent. We've talked about it. I don't believe that we've made a lot of inroads to change that, but we've certainly been having for many years this kind of dialogue. But we are at the point where the tariffs are going to affect us, and we need to know, how do we rebound from that? What are we going to do about that? And so that's why I said I was hoping at this point for not every single solution, but some solutions. I was hoping in the address we would hear, okay, so this is what we've done so far. And I'm intentionally not mentioning solar, and because that's the thing that we've been working on that before, prior to all of these tariffs.
That was been a goal for a long time.
It was an issue.
Yeah.
So that has been the goal for a long time. So I'm not including those things that we know were already in the works. But what different things, what new things? And I guess once the Prime Minister has had an opportunity to dialogue with the different stakeholders that he mentioned, then he'll come back with some solid solutions, as much as you can in this ever-changing, evolving tariff, I don't know what to call it, war or whatever.
That's what it is. All right. So I know you don't like me. Caller, we'll get to you in a second. Texters, we'll get to you in a second. I know you don't like me to talk about Mr. Trump. But I'm very curious about all the people last year, all the behaviors were like pro-Trump, Trump's our guy. You still feel and still repeating that nonsense about the country doing better under a Republican president? Just curious. Just want to know if you still feel that way. You still think this is great. He's great for the Bahamas, great for America. Just want to know. Just curious.
So,
if anything
a couple
changed.
things.
Mhm.
Two things. First, it isn't that I don't like you to talk about Donald Trump. I just don't like you to obsess about it. I was concerned because it seemed that it was borderline obsession.
Oh, okay.
That's the first one. The second thing is maybe they still feel that way because of all these tariffs and everything that he's doing. It will maybe cause us to be more independent. So maybe they're seeing it that way.
Yeah, you
But
think those people?
shared
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. I shared an article with you yesterday. I don't know if you saw it. There was a post on Facebook, and I believe I did share it with you. And there was
No, you were
a
busy. It
person,
was your anniversary.
they were share. I thought I shared it. But
Maybe you did.
anyways, that was saying,
No, you did.
the prime minister. I didn't. Okay, I apologize.
Oh, you didn't.
I'll send it to
You
you.
sent me
but-
something else.
because
Okay.
it's a good. Okay, so it was a good read. Just kind of explaining some of the things that they were facing in America. When their president says that, it may be tough for a little while, right? And so she's saying, what does that tough look like? That looks like people losing jobs, and she just went on to go and say a list of things. You say you want to bring manufacturing and everything back to America. Well, that's not going to happen overnight. That is going to take years for that to be up and running and just kind of breaking down everything that they are going to face. So, we just have to recognize that what is happening for those who say that they support Donald Trump for whatever reason. They have their reasons, and I'm sure the callers will call in and explain why they continue to support him or believe that what he's doing is working. Understand that we are all going to be impacted by this and not in a positive way right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Definitely.
and right now is basically all that you have. Because I don't know if I'm going to be alive 5 years from now when everything maybe evens off, if it does. But
5.
the way that it is going, I'm
Okay.
just saying
Yeah.
that, right? But the way that things are going now, and especially with this standoff with China, um, I don't see us coming out of this going, oh yeah, woo,
Great for the Bahamas.
great
Yeah.
decision. Yeah,
All right.
I don't see us.
Let me get to a couple text messages, then we'll get to these calls. Okay, so yeah, people are congratulating all of us. This person says that you're finally a teenager. Ha! That's to us, 13. Hey,
I
yeah.
love that.
This person says this is for you, Laverne, and us. 31 and 13. Dwight, you're telling people what numbers to play. What? I'm just telling you the
So
numbers.
what? 3113.
That's what somebody else says. That's the 4-ball for today, Dwight and Laverne. 3113. Oh, dear Lord.
Okay, I'll take a percentage.
Dwight and Laverne, happy anniversary. Okay, everybody, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's take these calls, and you can call in as well. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, 242-300-5720. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning to both of you.
Hi, good morning.
Dwight,
Good
I
morning.
think we are moving a little bit too slow. I have a video I can show you when Donald Trump was making his tariff speech and the stock market on the next side of the video. I showed you what happened to the DAX. I showed you what happened to gold. I can show you how just as he opened his mouth, the market started to drop. Now, we are in the game a little bit too late. Persons who were able to make money when it drops 100 points, 200 points, 300 points, that happens within minutes. Those people who were supposed to make money when he made that speech or when he actually retracted, the insider traders, that's where the money is being made currently right now in the United States. Not on climate change anymore, COVID, conflict, all the corruption. It's tariff, mentioning tariff, because when Powell used to make his speeches on non-farm payrolls, the market moves. Market moves when these persons open their mouth. And we are on the other side feeling the effect and not a part of the ride as it's moving right as he speaks. That's what's going on now. Dwight, I don't know if you use Notebook LM, but I invite you to use Notebook LM. You can take two of the geniuses, the two AI, go at work and dissect it for you. Get a news clipping from your, say, The Guardian and one from the Tribune, feed it as a source into Notebook LM and let it dissect it for you, and you will see exactly what's going on a little bit better, because you'll be able to now feed your sources into two AI and let them row over it and give you some information that'll be helpful. Do you use Notebook LM, Dwight?
I don't.
So you need to use it.
Yeah? Okay, I'll write it down.
And the tariff war, money is made in seconds, okay?
Wow. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the air. Are you there? Good morning. Now, let's take the other call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning and pleasant day.
Hi, good morning.
I'm happy for the anniversary.
Good morning.
Because without the anniversary, that is the wedding anniversary I'm talking about right now, first of all, you would not have, well, because of the wedding anniversary, no, let me say this, try to say it. Because of garden anniversary, but I want to believe that the wedding anniversary is more significant, and I would like you, madam, to share with others how to keep it going like that, okay? And nothing to say against Garden Radio. Garden Radio is getting older and hopefully wiser. So they need to catch up with you, okay? So you keep on going.
Yes, sir.
And hopefully Garden Radio will follow.
Yeah. Can you imagine what we'll be like at 31? My goodness. I don't. Well, that's almost scared. Almost scared to find out. Dwight? I don't know if Dwight. Anyway. Okay. Anything else you want to add, caller?
Yes. Regarding the tariff, I'm understanding that if you don't respond to the tariff, all will be well with you, so to speak. You know, so I don't know how it's going to happen, but for all to be well with you, you have to be prepared to say, hit me, and I won't hit back. And so, but regarding the President Trump, it's not just the tariff, you know. I'm understanding that there are people on plain clothes, you know, unidentified, taking up people from all the streets because they may say something against the Trump policy in other regards. And so all kind of things happening right now, but we'll see that we'll be our best, you know, we'll be on our best behavior so that we don't get too much spanking. And I guess that's what we have to.
Okay.
I don't particularly like the speculation market and the world depending on the speculation market, and we all suffer with the rise and fall of the stock market. That's not fair. But that's the way it is.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's see if we can get this call in before we get back to your text messages. Good morning, caller. Turn down your radio for us, please.
Hey, morning, Dwight. Morning.
Laverne. Yeah.
Laverne. Good morning to both of you. Laverne, I'm in agreement with you this morning when you said that you basically was looking forward to more substance to the Prime Minister's message as it pertains to where we as a nation plan to proceed forward to protect ourselves. The first thing that came up to me, well, before I move on to that point, and then to the statement you made before, where you mentioned that, you know, regardless to whether the Bahamas reacts to this or not, the bottom line is still that we are going to be impacted by whether we participate or don't participate. And that's why every country around the world that does not have a seat at the table or is not playing or is not going to have a direct say into this matter, we are going to be impacted as an end result. The thing that I'm getting at here, Laverne, that I had wished that the Prime Minister would have spoken to would have been, one of the things that would have been, how are we as a nation now going to mobilize the industries that we have here in the country and get them going, even if it means getting it started to a point where even after we've come through this, programs would have been in place. I'll give you one classic example. I've always said that a nation that cannot feed itself is a failed nation. Where's the message that, okay, well, we know that if we have nothing coming into this country, then how are we going to take care of ourselves? The clothing is one thing, the food is really the other thing. How are we going to incentivize and nationalize farming industry where we get our older farmers and even the young upcoming farmers to really initiate a plan now to feed ourselves? I look forward to hearing about initiatives like that, and not just speaking about it, but actually putting skin in the game, where we actually incentivize and really get a national plan going. These are the kind of things we talk about as far as progression is concerned. This is something that some of us actually listen for, and we're not hearing that kind of stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see afterwards. After the elephants would have fought and the ants are then stumped to pieces, then we come out after all of this would have ended. That's all I have to say this morning. But just food for thought, and I'm really hoping that the Bahamians are really thinking that this cannot be the same old after all of this stuff is done. But thanks for taking my call this morning.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's see if we can get this one in as well. Hi, caller, are you there?
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Good morning.
I'm happy on the way. See, boy, Dwight, you do 18.
It's crazy, eh?
Dwight, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Is he gone? You broke up. You broke up there.
18 years done got already.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Hey, and Mr. Llewellyn, happy anniversary.
Thank you so much. Thank
31 years. Wow.
31 years.
Man, look here, you need to write a book because those who rated divorce in this country, we need some encouragement to stay married because...
Yeah. In fact, we should do that. We should have Mr. and Mrs. Gardner on the show one day. We'll interview them. We'll interview them. How about that, Laverne?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dwight.
Yeah.
Man, look here, for 13 years, Dwight, Guardian, great. Would we see change in this country in 13 years from you? We was talking. You was talking. I could say we, I guess. But
yeah, we.
But we was talking, Dwight. Would really change in this country in 13 years to show some form of upliftment of movement from some what Dwight?
We've had there've been some things. There've been some things, definitely.
I mean, there've been some things, but I mean, ain't nothing significant that we could point on.
We could have been further along. Yes, we can all agree that we could have been further along. We had so many plans on the table. So many plans on the table, so many bright ideas thrown off the table or are still collecting dust on the table.
So much, all of those brilliant ideas, and ain't nobody to do the ideas what on the table. What we need, what could need to happen, we could either have to take that table down, right? Because at the end of the day, they only putting more brilliant ideas on the table, right? That's what we've been saying. Yeah, wonderful ideas, but they ain't letting coming off the table. So they ain't really benefiting nobody other than the table. The table is the beneficiary to all of these ideas, Dwight. So I just hope that we could live to see, right, possibly before the next 13, right, that we have people with interested in not just compiling, right, but taking things off the table and putting them in the way they're supposed to be. Because right now, there's no reason for the Bahamas to be in when it relates to agriculture and a lot of things, right? If we had visionary leaders and not just lazy leaders what was sponging off of America, right, for all of these years, and now America is saying, like, hey, y'all go do your thing, because y'all going to have to pay more to continue doing your thing to me. That's what I'm getting from Donald Trump. Donald Trump is making sure that people go out there and they run their countries and grow their countries, because a lot of these countries, in my view, they was dependent on America to grow their nation, and that ain't gonna work no more. That's what I'm saying. That ain't gonna work no more. You have to stand up on your own 2 feet. Go buy your cow, your goat, your chicken, and grow your food, so that your people can have a better way. Would we possibly need to do this budgetary year, right again of this going on this? Why can our government take when and take the whole cabinet along with the opposition and fly them to Burkina Faso, man. And let's stay there for 2-3 months and let that young man teach them what governance is all about and how and what you need to do when you love your people, what you can do to make sure they benefit.
Okay. All right. Well, they could do that, or they could talk to some people here who aren't involved in government exam directly, who have some ideas as well. But yeah, sure. All right. Let's get to some messages before we go to a break here. Yeah. So. All right. Yeah, people pointing out to the things that have improved in the past 13 years. Definitely, we don't have the dump on fire anymore. I guess we may have some things near the dump on fire, but not the dump itself. So that's great. And when we came on the air, remember all the roads in New Providence were dug up, and so it's not exactly the case anymore. Some of the roads are potholed up, but not dug up. So that's a little bit different. But hey. So that's at least two improvements. Vern, is Freeport better or worse in the last 13 years?
Freeport is recovering.
Hmm.
You know, Freeport is recovering. That's the best way I could put it.
Yeah. Okay. One final call, and then we're going to take the break. We'll get to your text messages in just a bit. Caller, you are live on the air.
Hello?
Hi, good morning.
Morning, Dwight. Good morning, Laverne.
Hey, good morning.
Dwight and Laverne, first of all, I want to commend the government for breaking ground to rebuild the Coconut Grove Clinic back. But looking at the photo, Dwight, and I believe that if that's a one-story building, I believe it's a waste of space there, because how will they just building the clinic, alleviate some of the burden from the main Princess Margaret Hospital? Right? I'm Dwight and Laverne. For a few years now, I believe that all the clinics we have around here should be a 2-story building whereby bed space can be provided on the top floor, so that it can become maybe a 24-hour mini hospital that persons who get sick, they probably have a bed, just the elevator goes upstairs to the room and they can have a bed to lay in. The thing is, Dwight, the buzzword around the hospital is norm and expectant, because it's normal that you expect a person to get sick. Mm-hmm. Also, it is expected when you go on triage, you spend anywhere between 24 hours, sometime a week or longer, to either see the doctor or to wait for a bed upstairs. So I believe that all the hospitals, all the clinics around here should be renovated to a 2-story building with an elevator and rooms going upstairs, so the persons who live in east, west, north, and south can choose which mini hospital they go to, and then they have bed spaces. I believe when the government spend that money, they should spend that money to bring comfort and relief to some of the poor and the needy persons, not business as usual. Come on, give us a break. When are we going to be progressive and move forward? Building a clinic obviously will not take a burden of the general hospital. I think it should be forward-thinking and progressively thinking. Try to advance so that many people could have comfort and spend less time waiting for service at the general hospital.
I hear you. Okay, thank you very much. I think the challenge with that would be that would have to be a 24-hour facility, and they're having issues with Princess Margaret Hospital. But that would be wonderful in the perfect world, and we hope that we could get to that point. Absolutely. Hey, let's take a break. We'll be back. This is Morning Blend. It is our anniversary, and Laverne's too. Hey, it's our. We're happy to be here on this Thursday. Stay with us on Guardian Radio 96.9.
This is Guardian Radio 90.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
I'm Lawrence Brooks, and these are your AP International News headlines. Britain and France are convening a meeting of defence ministers from around 30 NATO countries. The so-called Coalition of the Willing are pressing ahead with plans to deploy troops to Ukraine to police any future peace agreement with Russia. A US-Russian dual national imprisoned has been freed in a prisoner exchange with Washington. Ballerina Ksenia Karelina was convicted of treason in 2014 on charges stemming from a $52 donation to a charity aiding Ukraine. And Pope Francis has privately met with King Charles III and Queen Camilla at the Vatican. It's the first known meeting since the Pope returned home after spending 5 weeks at a Rome hospital for life-threatening double pneumonia. The meeting also happens to have been on Charles and Camilla's 20th wedding anniversary. I'm Lawrence Brooks.
Time for your first look at traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. With RBC, reaching your goals happen here. In your real-time traffic, as usual, Blue Hill Road, we've got heavy traffic from Carmichael all the way up to Independence Drive in the roundabout, but you're also going to be seeing slow-moving traffic near St. Vincent, so that's all the way northbound, heavy traffic there. Independence Drive back to both directions, especially eastbound, westbound, though. And between the two roundabouts at East Street and Blue Hill Road. East Street busy for you, north and south of the Soldier Road intersection, mainly northbound. And then we've got Prince Charles Drive near the major intersections, heavy traffic, especially as you get closer to Soldier Road and into Robinson, all the way up to Marathon East-West Highway. Very slow-moving westbound traffic there. Interesting for you as well, north of that intersection on the way to Bernard Wolfe and Village Road. And then we've got Eastern Road, heavy, slow crawling traffic from just west of San Souci to about Johnson Road. Over on Milo Butler Highway, as usual, heavy traffic from Fire Trail straight up to Tawny Williams Darling Highway if you're heading northbound. Gladstone Road is busy as well, north of Fire Trail all the way up to John F. Kennedy Drive and Bahamas Boulevard. Slow-moving westbound traffic on Carmichael on the way to Coral Harbor Road at this hour. And we're seeing some building traffic at West Bay Street near Saunders Beach, eastbound near New Providence Highway, and east of that roundabout on the way to Arawak Key. That's real-time traffic in your Morning Blend Traffic Alert, brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your ideas happen here. We'll be back with more Morning Blend after these messages and the news here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Boys, so glad you made it to Dad's birthday dinner.
Thanks, Mom. This gift is from me.
And me too?
No way.
Fine.
Hi, boys. Who's messaging? Oh, it's a deposit from CIBC Caribbean First Pay from Ricardo. Son, you're so thoughtful.
He sure is. For quick transfer with just an email, mobile number, or QR code, use First Pay from CIBC Caribbean. Visit CIBCCaribbean.com/ways to bank for more information.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
I've been up at Pinda and I meet him in the room. I said, Pinda, I just come out of a showroom in Portugal and let me tell you something. Them showroom and selection ain't got nothing on yours. Man, I like this stock of porcelain and ceramic tile you got here. What I really like is the range of sizes that come in. 8 by 48, 12 by 24, 24 by 24. And what I really like more than the things I really like is the price. From $275 a square foot to $494 a square foot and all in between. You can't beat that. Not even with a 2x4 from Enterprises.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're still going strong 13 years later, our anniversary today for Guardian Radio and for Morning Blend. And so happy that you've supported us for all these years. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. And we're talking about what's in the news. In a few minutes, we'll be talking with Nassau Cruise Port about a special event they have coming up called Easter Tings. And later in business, we're talking with the Climate Change Environmental Advisory Unit about their work and the Youth Ambassadors Program. They're looking for some youth ambassadors. So all that coming up. But we continue with what's in the news right now, getting a reaction to the Prime Minister's address, talking about the U.S. tariffs, the impact this is going to have, warning that this could mean higher prices in an already very expensive country. And talking about the need to find some alternatives in case things get heavy and worse. So we have a lot of your messages to get to, and you can continue to get your calls in. There's a couple other issues in the news we want to get to, Laverne. But let's see how quickly we can do this. You can call in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. All right, this texter says on the text line 422-4796, Dwight, $183 million would be a nice cushion to help us navigate our path forward with the 10% tariff imposed by the U.S. Well, again, we've buzzed, so we don't know if that's been spent. Can you tell if any work has been done on any roads? Do you even get to West Grand Bahama, Laverne? But can you tell if anything's been done? Have you heard whether anything has started or happened at all?
I haven't been to West End or going that way for a while, so I'm not aware. Mm-hmm. That's not to say it hasn't happened. So if we have any listeners who's from that area or who's been to West End frequently, let us know.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember the last time we were there for the by-election. I mean, the roads were as bad as anywhere else in the country, but were they particularly bad? Did it? Well, I'm sure every $1 million worth of work.
It wasn't particularly bad. In some areas, bad, but then again, if you get accustomed to something, maybe the shock of it isn't. But from what I recall, it wasn't like there. It was like you try to navigate, and I know lighting was a road quality. But yeah.
And as we said yesterday, we don't know the scope of the work, right? It could have entailed, like the New Providence Road Improvement Project was a lot of, so we don't know. We don't know what else was involved in that. But again, it's on pause, we've been told.
It's on pause right now because it was an error and, all of that stuff.
Something like that. Sure. This person says here, the we of it all is very subjective. This is what the cushions thing. This is what your we is. Something for all of our consideration. If we continue to accept that it is okay for 5-year millionaires to miraculously appear after every political cycle, Regardless of the financial divide of many law-abiding, hardworking Bahamians, we will continue to deprive us of real nation building. Our natural resources, geographical location, resolve as a people makes us primed to be a force on the world stage economically. But we continue to accept and sanction nothingness. More crackhead games. Oh boy. Our challenge is not lack of opportunity, it's a matter of mental laziness. Okay. All right. This person says here, I think we expected too much meat from the Prime Minister last night. He gave an address and said he will come back. Overall, our country is too reactive. Real discussion and execution must be on a national development plan that transcends any administration. We also need to be careful with immediate response to a U.S. president, let's put it, that announces policy on the fly and similarly reverses it. Yeah, it's very difficult to deal with someone like that, right? Wow. This person says here, jokers on the left and clowns on the right. Trump promised to levy tariffs on countries from last year before his election. How is it that we aren't already in talks with other nations, including our own bedfellow nation, China? Our bedfellow? Okay. Sure. We are truly stuck in the middle with jokers and clowns with no preparation. That's been happening, as we said, right? It's been happening, but I don't think people expected that the plans would need to be at like the number one job. Like that's all you need to be focused on. I don't think anyone was expecting that. And again, the 10% baseline tariff for everybody caught pretty much everybody off guard. This person says here...
Yeah, but that's the thing of it. I think maybe I don't know if other Caribbean nations felt that way, but maybe we thought that somehow we would be happening to a certain extent because, we are, their closest neighbor and we are their friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This texture here, and we keep seeing this on social media as well. People not really understanding how tariffs, duties work. It's very, very concerning. So somebody says here again, question: aren't our duty fees and on imports effectively the same as these tariffs on U.S. goods coming here? Texter. This is not quite the same, right? It's not like you have an alternative product, with very few exceptions. I think Duquesa mentioned it the other day, that mattresses, sure, because they're manufactured here, the duty on that is very, very high. But if you look at what they're manufacturing here, it's often related to the U.S. products. The manufacturers look carefully at what's going on. But for the most part, you're putting duties on products that you have no alternatives. And that's the income. That's a major income earner for the government. It's not quite the same. The tariffs are barriers to trade for the most part. But that's not what we're doing here. This is because we don't really manufacture anything. We don't have an economy, really. The government has to make money. It's all services, at least. Has to make money on goods. In some way or shape or form. Not exactly the same. The U.S. doesn't care. They money, and it's not like that prevents you. Like with cars, it's not preventing you from buying the cars that you want. The duty is about more cars than ever before. You're buying refrigerators, you're buying your clothes, whether there are duties on them or not. You complain about them being high, but you're still going to buy them. I'm not going to buy this because there's a 40% duty on it. And if there's that, it's not the same. But as somebody texted earlier, I didn't read it, but we might need to do some economics classes in school, at least with the Bahamian economy, so people can understand how this thing works. But that's not why Trump is doing this. That's not it at all. Not to us. This person says, I love the show. I expect how you deliver your opinions, respond to opposing ones, and in general carry the show. It does feel like a safe space, for real discourse. Okay, thank you. I don't, and just for laughs, I like, is that what you're saying? I like your matter of fact tone with suggesting that you need to calm down. You've been pretty calm on most things, including when you disagree with callers. I've been one of them and pretty appropriately angry on the terrible things that are hurting this country. Wishing you guys all the best in the years to come. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate that. This person said, This person says here, these wealthy politicians with all their flowery and unconvincing speeches don't know how difficult it is for us to make ends meet. We're catching hell in the Bahamas while they are enjoying the fat of the land. Okay. All right. This person says here, what Trump has done is plain old insider trading. He manipulated the markets to tank, told his supporters to buy, paused the tariffs, and the stock market's hit its highest mark in 16 years. It's criminal. Wow. Here's my takeaway. When did the Prime Minister realize it's important to be straightforward? Was this before or after JDL, the fuel hedging, the Bahamas moorings, Pike, secret fines for folk call, oil spill, secret settlements? By the way, the damage is done and not finished with the world yet. According to the report, some businesses are saying they will leave their imports uncollected and they simply cannot pay their duties. One farmer said in a report that he's lost 50% of his business, totaling some thousands of dollars. This is not a little pain. That's a year's profit lost in 3 days. The problem here is the policymakers appear to have no understanding of the long-term impact of seemingly rash actions. There's literally nothing artful about this. Wow. This person says that, yes, I still feel the same way about Trump. He's doing what is right for his country. Doesn't the Bahamas have import duties? Oh, my goodness gracious. So why the double standard? If we have import duties, why not them? Boy. Okay. I'm not going to get it. AI will steal the work of your journalists. That's just the text right there, just like that. Okay. Yeah. Well. If money is being made, why is the market down? Well, the market's up and down. The market's all over the place. That caller is right. Which one is this? Trump went on his social media and said this is a good time to buy, and then he suspended the tariffs for 90 days, and the market shot up. It's insider trading. Well, is anybody going to do anything? He's got the House, got the Senate, appointed most of the, got to the Supreme Court on his side for most things. But this is just how it's going to be, I guess. Caller, what say you on it? Good morning.
Good morning to you, and good morning to Laverne. Happy anniversary to Laverne, and to you, Dwight.
Thank you so much,
You're teenager now, Dwight.
It seems so.
You're
about to get unruly.
Tradition that I observe, you have to be responsible for your own actions now.
Okay. Oh boy.
So it's good though, but truly, you guys really changed the dynamics of talk show. Even though talk show was in the Bahamas before, no one thought that news and talk would take off, and you have proven that well beyond anyone's expectations.
Thank you very much.
I'm always amazed again that we are upset. How dare the lion eat us? We had no intention of eating the lion. You should observe what we were going to do. But the Prime Minister did excellent on talking about the problem. I wish he had conditions, actual solutions, considering that they have the data. Wait, that's probably right. We do have the data, but we don't use data analytics or any of those different things, or predictive analytics, or use the data to do a comparative study of what is available around the world and stuff. We said we're going to go looking. Maybe we could look in the newspapers or something to see exactly how we're going to do this thing. I don't know how it's done in the analog world. I'm so addicted to the digital world. But one of the things, Dwight, is that even though the Prime Minister patted himself on the back concerning the fact that the patient is no longer in critical condition, but they're still in ICU under stable condition, and that's economy. At least we didn't read the obituaries, and the economy has died. But we need a strategy as we saw this going up. What we need is an actual strategy for growth. And a lot of people say, we addicted to this. We want to go banking, financial service, and tourism. We need to maybe look at a construction industry to build tomorrow to anticipate what is going to happen. We need the intangible economies that they keep talking about, these 30 different versions of the economy. If you just put 1,000 people in each of those, I'm sure each of those strategies sits in the Prime Minister's office. We've been paying $70 million a year for that type of advice. I know billion-dollar companies that haven't spent as much and have become unicorns. So what we want from the Prime Minister is actionable solutions that Bahamians can come to understand, buy in, and participate in, because the world is not, no matter what happens, the world is not going to go back to where it was.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so we talk about the unpredictability of Trump. Well, we have the ability to look what is available and use analytics to bring some form of predictability and an actionable strategy. But you can't give us like action and not tell us, hey, here's the strategy. You can read it, you can contribute to it, you can participate in it, whatever else. And that's the type of governance we have to move to, rather than anecdotal statements again and again and promises that we're doing well with no proof to support it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right. So messages as we get ready to go to the break. This is about the Coconut Grove Clinic that they broke ground for yesterday. A Coconut Grove Clinic just a jog north is the Fleming Street Clinic. What is the state of that clinic? How about the state of PMH and the clinics throughout the Family Islands? Our problem is not buildings, it's the administering of health care. Okay, that doesn't mean they don't need it, though, right? And, yeah, just a jog north. I don't know if you need a clinic, if you're able to jog anywhere. So, this is actually not that close. But I hear you. We do need to do a better job of maintaining these things. This person says here, these worshippers of Trump give him too much credit. He is the greatest flammer, con man. Oh, boy, this is a lot. He was masterful at fooling hordes of voters to swallow his stuff here. This is a lot. And this tariff on tariff off game made him a manipulator of the market. They will win again when he cuts their taxes on top of that. Yikes. I listened to your guest yesterday and thought to myself, this is why you have the premier show in the land. It is not only entertaining but informative. Keep up the good work and the quality of your co-hosts. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Talking about our show on the 330th anniversary of Nassau, and we are talking about it, Laverne. We've got to do something. We've got to celebrate this year. What are we going to do? Think about that.
I'm not sure, but you know what? Off air, we'll talk about
Yes.
things.
And we need to think about that to come up with a plan, because it's up to us, clearly. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio. Stay with us.
I can't get enough. We're still having fun, and you're still the one. You're still the one who can scratch my itch. You're still the one that I wouldn't switch. We're still having fun, and you're still the one.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
What if I told you Wendy's has a new burger? With a flavor so secret, it's almost too delicious to handle. Well, now it's time to unlock that flavor. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger. We can't tell you everything, but we can tell you that it's packed with flavor, including our secret barbecue sauce. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger today. Available for a limited time.
It's all fixed.
Thank you for coming on such short notice. The kitchen was almost flooded.
Happy to help. No disrespect, but you're writing a check?
Sorry. This was unexpected, so I don't have cash.
Then first pay me.
Awesome. That I can do. So, this bathroom tap needs a washer, and this one
For
over here.
quick transfer with just an email, mobile number, or QR code, use First Pay from CIBC Caribbean. Visit CIBCCaribbean.com/ways to bank for more information.
Don't shop at Sherwin-Williams then. Don't get the best service in the Bahamas then.
The love is really, really strong.
in Sherwin-Williams. We don't just sell paint. We service you with a smile, good hearts, mind, soul, and body. And we love our customers as much as we love ourselves.
Yes. Real talk.
I'm not just saying this
Real talk.
to impress myself.
We love to go beyond with customer service. So they feel delighted to come in Sherwin-Williams because they know I can either see Dee Dee, or I can see Shelly, or one of our other wonderful staff members. We treat our customers with the respect of our boss because there are many paint companies they could choose to go to. No, baby. If they go to some other paint companies, so I gonna get this little thing at the end of the week.
We want to make sure you get that little ting, Shelley. Come visit Shelley and Dee Dee at Sherwin-Williams, Bahamas, and you'll surely find colour in every day.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This April, Duncan is spreading awareness and support for autism awareness. Did you know that autism affects 1 in 54 children? It is so important to show our support, and you can show your support by grabbing a signature blue donut from any Duncan location during April. Join us in raising awareness and support for REACH and the Seahorse Institute. Duncan, fueling communities one blue donut at a time. The Bahamas runs on Duncan.
And it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Here's what's going on. We've got an Atlantic low-pressure area supporting a cold front that is draped across the central Bahamas, along and ahead of the boundary, heading into the southeast Bahamas today. And this same low-pressure area is generating fresh winds and choppy seas across the northern islands. And that's expected to continue as that front moves away from the islands through tonight. But that front's going to meander and weaken between the central and southeast Bahamas through Friday ahead of another front, a reinforcing front that's going to move into the northern Bahamas by Saturday. That second front's going to move quickly through the country and merge with that weakening boundary over the southeastern islands. With Saturday, early Sunday, and high pressure and a more stable air mass will sit across the country through at least Wednesday, when another front will enter the northern islands. For today, though, localized flooding is possible across portions of the central and southeastern islands, with heavy and prolonged showers possible, especially in areas already inundated with water. Choppy seas and high surf will affect Atlantic coastlines of the northern and northwest Bahamas, and swimmers and small craft operators should not venture into those areas. Beachgoers and swimmers need to exercise caution as there remains along northern and eastern shorelines. So for today, for the northern and northwest Bahamas, partly mostly sunny and breezy, only about a 10% chance of showers. But for the central and southeast Bahamas, cloudy to overcast, at times a 30 to 60% chance of widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Temperature-wise today, for the northern and northwest Bahamas, highs around 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 67 Fahrenheit, 22 Celsius. A little bit warmer for the central and southeast Bahamas, highs around 88 Fahrenheit, ahead of that front as it moves through. And overnight lows tonight getting down to about 72 Fahrenheit, about 24 Celsius. In your extended outlook for tomorrow, Friday, partly sunny in the northern, northwest, and central Bahamas, partly cloudy to cloudy in the southeast Bahamas. By Saturday, cloudy in the southeastern islands and a mix of clouds and sun elsewhere. Sunday, partly sunny across the most of the country, but partly cloudy for the southeast Bahamas. And for the start of your work week, Holy Week, we've got partly sunny conditions for the most of the country, partly cloudy for the southeast Bahamas. That's your morning blend weather check brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Dull walls bringing you down? Well, Sherwin-Williams has the cure. Don't have your place looking toe up. Get that glow up with the superior quality of Sherwin-Williams Paints. And your final look at traffic brought to you by RBC. With RBC, reaching your goals happen here. In your real-time traffic, we still have Milo Butler Highway. Heavy traffic for you just north of Fire Trail now. As you approach Harold Pond, you'll see that in the northbound lanes all the way up to Tonic-Williams-Darling Highway. Traffic backed up along Tonic-Williams-Darling Highway westbound to that roundabout with Milo Butler Highway. And eastbound to Bahamas Games Boulevard. Then we've got Blue Hill Road, heavy traffic for you just north of St. Vincent if you're heading northbound, straight through to Independence Drive, especially north of Carmichael. And Independence Drive still seeing heavy traffic both directions, east and westbound at this hour. Soldier Road, east and west of the intersection with East Street, seeing heavy traffic both directions. And East Street is busy for you as well. And that's going to continue on Soldier Road near Windsor Place, near Old Trail, and even as you get closer to Prince Charles Drive, you'll see that. Prince Charles Drive is busy at the major intersections, including that one, and into Robinson Road. Heavy traffic for you there, up to Marathon. And Eastern Road still busy from Fox Hill to about Johnson Road. West Bay Street, just east of Arawak Key, slow-moving traffic into downtown, especially near Nassau Street. Bay Street looking busy for you at this hour as well. That's your real-time traffic in your Morning Blend Traffic Alert brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your ideas happen here.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
They'll never make it, but just look at us holding on. We're still together, still going strong. You're the one I run to, the one that I belong to. You're still the one I want for life. You're still the one that
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner on this April 10th, our 13th anniversary, folks, for Morning Blend and for Guardian Radio. Hey. All right, so there's Easter is fast approaching. Holy Week is pretty much here. And the Nassau Cruise Port has got something special planned for Easter. It's called Easter Tings. Here to tell us all about this, very pleased to have with us Ashley Darville and Antoinette Todd. Good morning, ladies. Great to have you with us.
Good morning. Good to be here.
All right, so Easter Tings.
Yes.
Interesting name there.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So tell us what this is all about. Tell us the concept and what you're hoping to accomplish here.
So it's two things in one. We're excited to share some exciting promotions and events at Nassau Cruise Port this April. This month, in the entire month of April, you can receive up to 25% off at select stores in the cruise port, like House of Assembly, My Ocean, Vita Cayo, Bahama Handprints, Global Portier, and our 50 marketplace vendors.
Okay, up to 25% off.
Up to 25%.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And that is for which day is it?
That's the entire month of April.
Oh, entire month?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that's have something on Sunday.
Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so this
Antoinette.
Sunday, April 13th, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., that will be our Easter Tings Brunch and Fun Day. So this brunch, we will be having our friends from POW, and a part of this entertainment and activities, we will have live entertainment. We will be having a Bahamian Easter fashion show. We'll be having contests, giveaways, and we even have a kiddie corner. So here we'll have something for everyone at this event. It's very family friendly. A lot of fun and entertainment for everyone of all ages.
Yeah.
So we will be having, of course, those exclusive discounts and shopping opportunities for everyone that's involved. We do have an entry fee. So the entry fee is $50 for persons who are 13 and older. It's $25 for children from ages 4 to 12. And anyone that's 3 and under, it's free.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's free. So the $50 would include your brunch from POW, a soft drink, or a complimentary mimosa, courtesy of our sponsor, Shandon Garden Spritz. So they will be providing us with our champagne for our mimosas. And we just want to always let people know that Nassau Cruise Port is always open to the public. So if you want to see you there, but even other than the brunch, it's always open for shopping, dining, and exploring.
Okay, so where is the brunch happening? Like, are you going to be on the field there, or?
We will be in the brunch itself will be in the Gallery and Wine Bar.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but in that same general areas where all of the activities and entertainment will be.
Nice, excellent. All right, so that is from 11 to 2.
Yes,
Do you
11 a.m. to 2
need
p.m.
reservations or anything?
No, reservations are not needed. So you will pay at the door when you reach. And then, of course, if you do have any large groups that are interested in coming, you want to reserve something in advance, you can just send us an email to marketing@nassaucruiseport.com.
Okay, all right. So somebody's asking, so is it a buffet or is it special order?
So
how do you
we
do it?
will have service there
okay.
from our POW team, and they will just help you, serve. So it isn't a buffet where you would serve yourself.
Right, okay. Oh, excellent. So just show up, again, 11 to 2, and $50.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Starting at $50.
Starting at 50,
Yeah.
25.
Well, 25. Starting at 25.
Starting at 25 for ages 4 to 12.
Yes.
And free for 3 and under.
3 and under.
It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
And you said while you're having brunch, you mentioned again some of the things that will be going on.
So we will have the live entertainment. We will be having a Bahamian Easter fashion show, contests, giveaways, and then, of course, the kiddie corner for the kids.
Okay, wonderful. And the 25% off that's going on all month long.
Mm-hmm. So it's up to 25.
Up to 25. Okay. Not on everything,
No.
But up to 25%
Yes.
off. And how's that been received so far? We're 10 days into the month.
It's been really good. We actually have some deals from House of Assembly. They have 20 to 50% off their signature handbag collection, and they have buy one get one free, their logo collection, and of Nassau collection.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then at My Ocean, they have quite a few things as well. 25% off their gift tube sets, up to 75% off select ceramic dishes, and buy 2 get 1 free bag of bath salts and round soap bars.
Okay, this is a great deal.
And that's just the start of
and
it.
that's just the start. Wow.
Yeah.
It's not hit me properly yet that Sunday is Palm Sunday. That's
Yeah.
a short week. Good Friday is next week.
Mhm. Yeah.
Easter is here. So hopefully this will help to get people in the frame of mind.
Yes.
That it's that time of year. Wonderful stuff. Any final comments you want to make? I mean, you always have something exciting
Yes.
going on at Nassau Cruise Port.
Yes,
Anything
we
else
do.
going to be going on? And you're going to be open during the Easter holidays?
Yes, we will. We're open 24/7. Most of the shops do close around, I'd say, 5 o'clock, but it depends on what's going on at the cruise port. To stay up to date with our event promotions, please follow us on social media. It's at Nassau Cruise Port. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, TikTok. You can also sign up for our newsletter on our website, and we have deals, our latest information in there as well.
Wonderful. Yeah. Nassau Cruise Port is the place to be for Easter. And Ashley Darville and Antoinette Todd, thank you for being here to tell us all about it.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. All right, we're going to break for news and be back with business. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Ain't nothing better. We beat the odds together. Glad we didn't listen. Look at what we would be missing. They say, I bet they'll never make it.
Let's face it, life is hard, but your healthcare doesn't have to be. Give yourself peace of mind with LAMP plans at Doctors Hospital. Sign up today and enjoy the low-cost advantage. Get up to $5,000 in credit limit for non-covered services and 2 free nutritional consultations. Choose your plan today by visiting doctorshosp.com/lamp. We make healthcare easy.
Penda has a new line, the Sky series of porcelain. It comes in 4 colors: Sky Noir, Sky Gris, Sky Glance, and this one, Sky Zero. As the name suggests, you would think it has a strong blue component, but the blue is kind of like just a hint in the overall coloring of the porcelain. The blue feature runs more or less the center of the tile, and that's surrounded by light shades of gray. The Sky Zero, like the others in the series, needs to be seen to be appreciated. Stop by Pender Tile and have a look at Sky Zero, one of the 4 in the Sky series.
All those loans I had were a consolidation loan, combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
Now let me see now. This Epic battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326-EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Thursday, April 10th, 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. And the Climate Change Environmental Advisory Unit, they're looking for the next Youth Ambassador, the Youth Ambassador Program. They're going to tell us all about that. And we're going to talk some climate change issues as well. Very pleased to have back with us Climate Change Advisor Charles Hamilton. And we have Climate Change Officers Melissa Ingram and Denzel Colley. Great to have you all with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so Charles, anyone can jump in there. Before we get into the programs, just have to ask you, we haven't had you or Rochelle on since the big changes in Washington, D.C. And we know that the U.S. is rolling back a lot of the deals that were made, the agreements that were made over the past 5 or so years. What does that mean for the Bahamas and especially into carbon credits and trying to get the whole world on board with climate change policies, with the U.S. not seeming that interested anymore? What does that mean for us?
Yeah, well, first of all, Dwight, I want to wish you and the entire Guardian Radio team a happy 13 years of bringing talk radio, and it's been a pleasure being a part of that history. So
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No problem at all. In terms of the changes in the U.S. and how the Bahamas continues, we continue to soldier on. If anything, this has helped us solidify partnerships with other countries. The U.S. continues to be a partner who we work with, and industries and companies and agencies that are very much still interested in the issue of climate change. However, that is one country out of 192 that are part of the Paris Agreement.
A very influential country, though.
A influential country, yes. And, we sometimes can mistake, what a change in an administration may mean versus, what are partnerships that can be done at a state level or at city levels.
Okay.
And so, we continue to soldier on. We continue to, craft our partnerships. We continue to strengthen partnerships and alliances and continue with the work with climate change and with carbon credits and with all of the other initiatives that are going on. So we certainly haven't stopped. And so, and our partners have signaled as well, we will continue to do this work because climate change is an existential threat for the entire planet.
Of course. Is there still interest in carbon credits? Is that still hold value?
Very much still an interest in the carbon credits because, again, we're talking about protecting resources and being able to continue to drive down emissions. Just because there may be loud voices in the room, it doesn't mean that that represents the majority of the views in a room and partners who wish to continue this work in protecting planet, people, and our economies. And so, yes, Dwight, and I'm looking forward to us talking even more as we advance these partnerships.
Okay, all right. We know we have COP30
Correct.
this year. Is there an overall theme? What's on the table? What's expected to come out of that?
Yeah, no. COP30 agreed will be in Brazil, in Belém. The focus is actually the issue of adaptation, something that we have signaled has been an importance issue for countries like us that don't really emit much, but need to have a lot of opportunities and projects and initiatives to advance climate adaptation and resilience. And so the COP presidency is communicating his vision. There's supposed to be a briefing sometime in this month / early next month so that we can have a better idea of what is the way forward. Of course, just trying to ensure that we're galvanizing everybody to be on the same page. So as soon as we get updates on that, maybe that might be another reason for us to come on the radio, along with a few other climate-related initiatives in country.
Yeah. So Melissa and Denzel, we want you to jump in as well. So before we get again to the programs, be on the same page. That's very important. And we question that sometimes whether everybody's got it here in the Bahamas with some of the things we see going on with trees and littering and so many other things. But what would you want people to know about what we need to be doing, what we can be doing right now to mitigate climate change, at least for us in the Bahamas? Yeah, Melissa?
So the word mitigation that you just used is, one of the terms that we refer to, but adaptation is another one that we would also speak about. I won't get into the nitty-gritty of what the difference is, but in terms of building resilience in the country, adaptation is something that I always refer to in terms of planting trees, supporting your local NGOs, beach cleanups. There's so many different things that you can think about when you want to not just protect and preserve the environment, but also preserve our future as it relates to taking climate action.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I share the same sentiment. In addition to, planting trees and doing beach cleanups, also just supporting and investing more into locally produced goods. Transportation is a major emitter of climate change, greenhouse gas emissions. So if we can try and localize our production, I think that would go a long way as well.
Yeah. Wow.
And Dwight, another thing that we can do locally to help address climate change, share initiatives that will help empower young people, like the initiative we're going to talk about today, right?
Excellent. Let's get into it. So this is the Youth Ambassador Program. You've been doing this for a few years now.
Yeah. this will be the fourth year
Wow,
that it's
okay.
happening, and it's always so exciting to see what the various youth ambassadors do and how they represent us nationally and on the international stage to really advocate on behalf of the country and their peers. But I know that Melissa and Dahl and Denzel has been working very closely with the ambassador. So, why don't you all tell a little bit about why is this program important and why people should apply?
Yeah, and what they do. Tell us everything.
So I believe the program is important. Let me start there. It's because climate change is everyone's business, especially the youth of this nation, because they will be the ones who are inheriting. I say they, but we will be the ones who will be inheriting the problems of climate change. So in order for us to get a head start, because we are already 10 paces behind, I think we need to get the youth involved. They need to be the voice, the forward voice of climate change and how it affects small island developing states like the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess just adding to Denzel's point, it's important that we provide the youth with the tools. And when I say the youth, as Denzel said, that includes us. But in providing us all with the tools and the knowledge, the awareness and education that's necessary for moving forward in the future as the different impacts from climate change start to impact us. We already see it now, but of course they're going to become, I guess, worsened as time continues to go on. But the Bahamas being a small island developing state and the threats that we're already seeing and we intend to see based on just models and projections, we know it's going to get worse. And so making sure that they know how to equip themselves with preserving our current, where we live, so that they can live here, their kids can live here, and those kids afterwards, for generations, just ensuring that we are setting this program. We are providing youth with an opportunity to advocate for a platform of their choice within the climate space. That can be anything across sectors. Climate change is a cross-sectoral issue. There's one thing persons don't necessarily, understand. As Denzel said, it's everybody's business, right? What does that mean exactly? Well, I'm in the climate space, so yeah, I'm a scientist, but it's not just a fight for the scientists. It's someone who's in the health sector. It's someone who's in the work sector with infrastructure, someone agriculture. It's across all of those sectors. So just ensuring the persons know that wherever you are at, you can relate your scope of work to climate action. And through this platform, even as someone between the ages of 18 to 25, which is what we're targeting, you can come and give a different perspective as to how it is relative to you and showing other persons how this is relevant to you as well.
Yeah. Are you noticing that people in this age group are more receptive to climate change and the fact that a lot of this are man-made problems that we're seeing versus somebody a little bit older?
Yeah. I would say this, that you would definitely hear the reception to the issue of climate change being received well among this particular age group, and even those who are a bit older as well. I understand some of the hesitancy, but I think it's about continuing this conversation. If we, I've had people tell me, beforehand, climate change wasn't a topic that Bahamians really talked about. The only persons who really talked about it may have come from environmental NGOs, but now you're hearing everyone talking about it. Why? Because it's beginning to understand that this does not just impact people who work in those fields as well, right? A shout out to all of the NGOs and the CSOs doing very good work in our country, right? But myself, I have a health and an economic background, but in pursuing my studies, I saw that climate change would impact both health and economies. And that's hence how I moved into this particular field. So I want to say that for anybody who is listening in, maybe you're studying law, maybe you're studying music, engineering, maybe you are studying, journalism, you can actually find a way to dovetail into climate change in any of those fields. And I specifically called them because I know people who are getting jobs in those particular areas. And they're like, in climate change, yes. We need people to tell the news of climate change accurately. We need people to tell the story of climate change creatively. We need people who are in the health sector and in the agricultural sector to say, how will we adapt to the changing health patterns and rainfall patterns to help to address food and health security in country, and law, because environmental law, climate law is so important in this day and age.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So to be a youth ambassador, this is a 1-year program, or how long will you be required to serve that post?
Yep. At least 1 year we are looking at for these ambassadors to serve. They have an opportunity to be able to, get their feet wet. We're looking for them to have some overlap with the previous ambassadors to get some capacity building and then, carry out their national platform. And so, for those who are interested, it's a great opportunity to shape your networks and to be able to shape how the country advances in climate change.
All right. So what will you be required to do if you are chosen as the ambassador? We'll get to the the application and all that stuff in a bit. But if you are the youth ambassador, the next one, what will your next year look like?
So the next year would look like actually putting the platform that they have to create for the application, which we'll get into later, into work, or at least to begin the work. So for example, if the next ambassador wants to focus on beach health and the wealth of produce a work platform that will address all of the necessary items that needs to be addressed for a beach cleanup or the beach health, and they'll begin to work at that. Okay. So that's how they'll be able to work on their platform.
Yeah. Will there be
just to add to that as well. So that will be leading their own platform, as he mentioned, which they will be able to choose their focal area that they want to, take their direction in. But they'd also be able to represent the country at international meetings as well as local meetings. But predominantly, I know everyone heard of COP. COP 30 is coming up in Brazil this year. The Bahamas Youth Climate Conference is also an annual conference that we have. This is our 4th year doing it, as well as this is our 4th cohort of the ambassadorship. So they would be able to co-chair that with the CCAU. And then they would also be able to just spread awareness, all of the initiatives throughout their platform that they're able to do, target different communities, different stakeholders, not just initiatives, but meetings, workshops, possible training opportunities as well.
Okay, and appear on talk shows and stuff, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, so a deadline's coming up. So what do you need to be doing if you are in the 18 to 25, right, age category? And you're interested
over to our team, but I've been repeating this on the air, on press conferences.
Apply now.
Where we go? Apply now.
Apply today.
Apply today.
Like right now.
Right now. We are less than 2 weeks out. It was 2 weeks as of yesterday. Wow. April 22nd is the deadline. And I know we as Bahamians, we wait until the last minute. We wait until the last minute. You cannot do this the day of, because you're going to require some work to be done, which I will leave it to my colleagues to address. But please apply today, and they'll tell you where and what you need to do.
Okay.
So some things that you're going to need to, I guess, complete the application process. Once you go on our social medias, which I know Denzel is ready to tell you guys what those handles are. But once you go on our pages, you'll see the flyers, you'll see the links, and it'll take you to a Google form. Some things that you need handy, or if you need some time to prepare, will be, for instance, a valid passport. There will be an essay prompt that's going to focus on cultural heritage and its tie to climate change. A platform proposal. So think about what it is that you would want to achieve within your time, any kind of workshops, target audience, that kind of stuff, and lay it out for us. But there's guidance in the application as well. References. There will be 3 references that are requested, and I'll hand it over to Denzel for our socials.
So you can find us on Facebook. That's C2EAU. That's C2EAU. Instagram, CCEAU Bahamas. CCEAU Bahamas. You can call us at 702-5500. That's 702-5500. Or you can email us at youthclimatecompetition@bahamas.gov.bs.
Okay. So can it be a video essay or it has to be written?
It's going to be written about 1,200 minimum to 1,500 words maximum.
Okay. And again, 2-week deadline.
2-week deadline. That's why you got to apply today so you could get your stuff started if you need time to prepare. If you've already been in preparation, go ahead and, send it in.
I will add that the application was open from March 3rd. So, Bahamians, please, today, right now.
Any cost to apply? Any
no cost at all except your time, sweat, and effort. Right? So get on. Like, I know you're, let's see, it's at 9 a.m. No, it's 9:30. I know you're on your phone now, scrolling on TikTok, or you're posting, or you're laughing at some posts from a Trapsy WhatsApp group. Go on Instagram, CCEAU Bahamas, or go on Facebook, and you will find us, Climate Change and Environmental Advisory Unit. I know it's long, but if you type up CCEAU or C2EAU, you should find us on Facebook. The applications are right there. Apply today.
All right, so this is an interesting age group, 18 to 25. Some people probably still in high school, some in college, some working. Does it make a difference? If you are, or do you have to be in college here? Can you be in college abroad? Does that make a difference?
Sure. The age difference really does not matter. I know I can say just from what I've seen, right? Like, we've definitely had people right at 18 who have managed to, apply. Persons up to age 25 have applied. We've had ambassadors who have been in school, ambassadors who have been working. And so really, it's just about how do you communicate with your, with the things that will be occupying your life in your professional and academic pursuits. How will you be, ambassador in carrying out your platform?
Right.
And I think that, at the end of the day, this is going to be a good opportunity to build some leadership skills, build, just coordination skills, and show that, I can do this.
Yeah.
I'm ready to do this.
Is there any monetary compensation for being a youth ambassador?
There is indeed a stipend that is provided throughout the ambassadorship, and that's normally placed into, once you are selected, we communicate that with you. But you got to work. It isn't just that you can get the stipend just because you are an ambassador. You are conducting work each month in advancing your platform and in representing the country. So if you don't work, you don't get it.
Yeah.
If you work, you get it.
Okay. All right. We've got a call. We're talking with Charles Hamilton, Melissa Ingram, and Denzel Colley with the Climate Change Environmental Advisory Unit, C2O. It's a really cool name. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight.
Hi.
How you doing?
Doing well.
Not to get off from your subject, but I'm...
Oh, please don't get off the subject. We got to...
No. I really calling because I need Erin to call me about the trivia.
Okay, we got to call back for that when she's on. All right. Thank you very much. All right. So you talk about the platforms. What are some of the platforms we've seen from previous ambassadors? What have they been? Can you remember that? What's come out of that?
Yeah. No, I think so. The program has continued to evolve over time, right? And so for us this year, it's not going to be built in the platform idea, because we found that as we onboarded previous ambassadors, they had ideas about, okay, I want to enhance the amount of connections that we make with young people in the Caribbean, for example. I know at least two of our past ambassadors have done a lot of work around the ICJ, that's the International Court of Justice, and the appeal that was made where the AG and other AGs across the world would have gone before The Hague to talk about what is the rights of states in relation to climate change, right? And so at least two of our ambassadors were involved in capacity building efforts with Caribbean youth to help, put together briefs, provide to various persons who would be presenting at The Hague on the same issue of climate justice. That's just one example. But that came about more organically for them, right? But we said, And, some of the advice that we got from them was, it would have been good to understand coming in, like, how we can direct our time and efforts versus, picking up things along the way. So that's why we said, that's a great idea. Why don't we, at the forefront of this particular round of ambassadorships, say, build out a platform so that you can already begin from day one understanding this is what I'm going to do and I've planned out for 6 months versus you get in and now you're thinking, what is it that I'm going to do? Right? And so the ambassador works and, how to use the platform to connect and build capacity in country. But this is us trying to help that focusing of efforts.
Yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. So one more time, remind folks about the deadline, what they need to be doing now, and how to get this, to get their applications in.
So the deadline is April 22nd at 1 p.m.
Yes.
At 1 p.m., April 22nd, the applications will close. And they are to log on to our social medias. I'm going to say it again. Facebook, C2EAU. Instagram, CCEAU Bahamas. You will find our flyers with the QR code and the link. It'll take you to the Google form. You will see a list of requirements that you need to provide, whether it's a valid passport, whether it's
your resume, your
yes,
references.
Yes, and obviously the essay question. Once you submit all in detail, it will come to our email. We will review it. We'll have a independent panel look at it once you are shortlisted, and then we will progress as the time goes to the youth conference. We will announce the new ambassadors.
Oh, when is that going to be?
That is
The youth conference is July 3rd to 4th. The theme this year is People, Planet, Purpose, Advancing Awareness to Action.
Wonderful stuff.
And so, Dwight, there's like two important things I want to bring up for people. When you're filling out the application, you're going to see the prompts because there will be some documents that need to be emailed to us, right? I could probably fill out that application in like 5 minutes now because it's like, hey, my name, my age, do I live, where do I live? Do I have a valid passport? But then you see, I will email my essay question to Youth Climate Competition at Bahamas.gov.bs, and you just click yes or no. Please email, don't just fill out the application, but make sure email the documents that you agreed to email so that way, you aren't left off. And do not wait until 1 p.m. last minute. You might have an issue where, my computer broke down the other day. And I thought that my belly was going to break down as well at the same time, right? That's the colloquialism, right? If you need to get something done, especially if you think about going on Easter break, I know a lot of people tend to take next week and travel and whatnot. Just get it out today. Get it out today. Make sure that those references have been compiled and they have been emailed because we do not want you to miss out just because you have one document that was not submitted. Please apply today. April 22nd will be right around the corner.
Very close. Okay. Very exciting. Again, we hope to meet the next ambassador. You're looking for how many?
Two ambassadors. Yeah. 2 ambassadors. 1 male, 1 female, aged 18 to 25. And please, Family Islands, apply. I want to see a Family Island youth ambassador this year. We've had amazing youth ambassadors, but all of them have been from New Providence. And we really do want someone from the Family Island. So I know there's somebody out there. If you're hearing April 22nd, apply today.
Excellent stuff. Charles Hamilton, Melissa Ingram, Denzel Colley, thank you very much for being out there. And hopefully we will get to a very exciting new youth ambassadors. Looking forward to meeting them. Thanks again.
Thank you, Dwight.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break and be back with more. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
It's our anniversary. It's our anniversary. Yeah, anniversary. It's our anniversary. It's our anniversary. And I've only made plans to hold your little hand. It's our anniversary.
At CFAO, We understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
With RBC
Plans. Your plans become memories. This is retirement. And your dreams become your life.
Whether it's planning that family vacation, owning your dream home, or retiring comfortably, your ideas are everything. And RBC is here to help make them happen. With RBC, your ideas happen here.
Calling all Alive Fiber basketball fans. Get ready to experience the NBA Finals live. You can enter an all-expense-paid trip to not one, but 2 NBA Finals games. It's simple. Just sign up for our Alive NBA League Pass or Infinite Sports X package by May 16th. Stay connected, enjoy blazing fast internet, and score your chance to witness the NBA action up close. Don't miss out. Visit AliveFiber.com and take your shot at NBA glory. Terms and conditions apply. It's good to be alive.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, the Athlete's Foot, and BTC, Games and more. John Bullfine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clocks and Island Luck, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
Spring is in the air, and so are the rewards. The Water and Sewage Corporation wants to thank you for staying on top of your bills. When you pay your bill in full, you'll be entered for a chance to win one of 3 Easter baskets filled with exciting surprises. Pay in full before your due date. Complete the entry form, and you'll be entered to win. Visit our social media pages for details. Hop to it and win with the Water and Sewage Corporation. Hurry! Offer ends April 17th.
You work hard for your money, so let your money work hard for you. With as little as $1,000 to start, you can watch your money grow by investing in CFAL's Bahamian dollar and US dollar mutual funds, each tailored to match your unique investment profile. Our expert advisors are dedicated to crafting personalized investment strategies to help you achieve your financial goals. Don't miss out on the chance to earn higher returns on your hard-earned money. Join the thousands of investors who trust CFAL and start your journey. Visit us at cfal.com to learn more about our saving and investment options. And let us help you build wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. The government has signed on to a third credit rating agency, which has given the Bahamas an inaugural long-term foreign currency issuer default rating of BB minus with a stable outlook. The Ministry of Finance revealing this yesterday. Fitch Ratings said it's in its first rating reflects the country's high gross domestic product per capita, robust governance, and ongoing fiscal consolidation effort. But a BB negative rating indicates an elevated vulnerability to default risk, particularly in the event of business or economic conditions, and that is considered a speculative rating, meaning below investment grade, commonly referred to as junk. But the statement is saying that the strong performance from the tourism sector is expected to continue driving real GDP growth, projected to remain above pre-pandemic averages from 2020, and that economic buffers such as existing insurance and contingency funds designed to mitigate the impact of natural disasters, along with the financial sector's substantial external liquidity, are considered supportive of the country's. The government statement said the BB negative rating from Fitch reflects the country's movements to restore its credit perception. It added that the move to align with a third credit rating agency demonstrates the government's commitment to continue improving market disclosure and financial transparency. Local firm Outlier Energy has partnered with California-based Mainspring Energy to bring advanced low-emission power generation technology to the Bahamas through a reseller agreement. A statement from Outlier says the initiative supports the government's 2024 initiative to power the Family Islands through clean energy microgrids and will be developed in collaboration with Bahamas Power and Light under long-term power purchase agreements. Outlier says the system will provide reliable, affordable, and environmentally friendly energy to underserved communities. Regional Manager Judson Wilmot says the power produced by this collaboration will be cost-effective and respectful of the surrounding environment. And a Bahamian software developer has launched his fast-growing document management software in Barbados and is looking to hit 10,000 total users in the Caribbean by June. Chief Executive Officer of Plato Alpha, Duran Humes, telling Guardian Business that the Barbados market, while not as lucrative as the Bahamian market, is showing tremendous promise for expanding his tri-block human resource solution. Plato Alpha recently secured the KOC franchise in Barbados, which has 14 locations, over 700 employees. The strategy for Caribbean expansion involves leveraging local knowledge and resources. Overseas, some breaking news. The Prada Group announcing a deal today to buy Italy's Versace from the U.S. luxury group Capri Holdings under terms that value the fashion house at 1.25 billion euros or $1.4 billion. Prada saying that the addition of Versace's continues a strongly complementary addition to its portfolio, which includes the Prada brands. It said that Milan-based Versace offered significant untapped growth potential. The final value of the deal will be adjusted to closing, expected in the second half of the year. It will be funded by 1.5 billion euros in new debt and has been approved by the Prada and Capri Holdings board of directors. From the U.S., inflation declined last month as the cost of gas, airline fares, and hotel rooms fell, a sign that price growth was cooling even after President Donald Trump ramped up his tariff threats. Consumer prices rose just 2.4% in March from a year earlier, according to the Labor Department today, down from 2.8% in February. That is the lowest inflation figure since September. Excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core prices rose 2.8% compared with a year ago, down from 3.1% in February. It's the smallest increase in core prices in nearly 4 years. Economists closely watching core prices because they are considered a better guide to where inflation is heading. The report shows that inflation is mostly cooling for now, but Trump's huge tariffs on China and 10% universal duty are likely to push up prices in the coming months. Economists say the higher import taxes will likely weigh on the economy's growth as well. On a monthly basis, prices actually fell 0.1% in March, the first monthly drop in nearly 5 years. Core prices rose just 0.1% in March from February. Used car prices also dropped 0.7% from February to March. The cost of auto insurance fell. Welcome relief for car owners, though insurance costs are still up 7.5% compared with a year ago. And the U.S. stocks today are giving back some of their historic gains from yesterday, before as Wall Street weighs a global trade war that has cooled in temperature but is still threatening the economy. The S&P 500 was down 2.3% a day after surging 9.5% following President Trump's decision to pause many of his tariffs worldwide. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 700 points, or 1.7%, as of 9:35 this morning, and the Nasdaq composite. Even a better-than-expected report on inflation, which we just told you about, wasn't enough to get U.S. stocks to add to their surges from the day before, including the S&P's 500's third best since 1940. Economists say the data wasn't useful because it offered a view of only the past, when inflation may rise in coming months because of the tariffs. A better than expected report on joblessness didn't help much either, with Wall Street's focus entirely on what's to come in the future. Meanwhile, Trump has focused more on China, raising his tariffs on products coming from the world's second largest economy to 125%, even if that were to get negotiated down to something like 50%, and even if only 10% tariffs remained on other countries. Economists say the hit to the U.S. economy could still be large enough to hurt expected growth for upcoming U.S. corporate profits. The basics from Wednesday. Your market movers: CIBC, First Caribbean Bank, moving 1,000 shares, closing at $14.40, down 60 cents. Bahamas First Holdings Limited, moving 20,000, down 15 cents to $2.05. Consolidated Water, down 8 cents to $4.73. Emira Incorporated, down 9 cents to $9.95. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 3,026.29, down 0.91. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
It's our anniversary. It's our anniversary. Yeah, anniversary. It's our anniversary. It's our anniversary.
And we are back here on Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. A big, 13 years. It's our anniversary Morning Blend as well. As we were the first show to sign on that day, April 10th, 2012, and still going 13 whole years later. My gosh. Wow. Okay, so we've got quite a few text messages. Still, a lot of people saying happy anniversary to us. We appreciate all of this. Thank you so much. We'll get to those in just a bit. There is a story I want us to talk about. Laverne, the U.S. Embassy issuing another warning to tourists, American tourists especially, to avoid renting jet skis. Our Travis Cartwright-Carroll writing about it today. So amid reports that American tourists were recently raped and sexually assaulted by jet ski operators, the U.S. Embassy in Nassau is warning visitors to avoid jet skis. In a security alert issued yesterday, the embassy said that Nassau jet ski operators have raped and sexually assaulted U.S. citizen women. It said 2 American women reported rapes in the past month, and that 3 rapes were reported last year, 2024. The statement says that women victims reported that male jet ski operators picked them up from downtown Nassau and Paradise Island beaches. This includes the area from Junkanoo Beach to Saunders Beach and Cabbage Beach. The victims said they were raped and assaulted on isolated islands near New Providence. And since August 2024, 4 U.S. citizens were hospitalized with injuries from jet ski accidents. Of these, 2 needed emergency evacuations to the United States due to their injuries. Due to security risks, U.S. government employees working in the Bahamas are prohibited from renting and using jet skis on New Providence and Paradise Islands. As you may recall, earlier this month, the U.S. State Department issued a revised update on its travel advisory for the Bahamas, noting that while the State Department assaults by jet ski operators, it did not advise visitors to avoid, at that time, the recreation. Okay, so let's get your reaction to it. Some folks already texting in saying that this is going to be the nail in the coffin of the jet skis, the personal watercraft industry. Will it be? What do you make of it? We've heard these complaints from tourists. Right. We've heard that on Bahamians. But what are we going to do here? Is it a free-for-all? We talked about this last week. People thought it was cute, but it could potentially be very dangerous. That person who had a 6-year-old son operating the jet ski. I mean, is that really something sensible there? Just anything goes type attitude with jet skis and almost everything in the country. But what are we going to do here? Let's talk about it. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. Got some calls coming in. Laverne, good morning. Call, you're on the air.
Hey, great show as usual. Dwight. Yeah, but in the jet skis, right? That's been going on. The only difference is that social media and different outlets are out there now to actually expose it. People, they should have been stopped doing that stupid long time. And also, right, sexual assault in the States is completely different than it is in the Bahamas.
Oh, really? What's
No.
what's
Let
the
me
difference?
explain what I'm saying, right? If you look at a woman differently or in a sexual way in the U.S., they might actually call that sexual assault. And then in the Bahamas, right, we have a weird way of sexual, and for some reason, in the Bahamas, we feel as though that we could just touch a female without their permission. That kind of way. You see where I'm coming from? And then what happens is people feel as though we normalize that. That's where the problem becomes. We don't know how to put a stop to not touching people. For instance, right, in Junkanoo, right, you carry a girl around there in Junkanoo, you know she can get feel up.
Oh, my God.
That ain't normal, but we made it normal.
Well, this week, you got to watch this week. But I hear you. Lots of people, unfortunately, think that's fine.
Yeah,
And,
that's what I'm trying to say. We normalize a lot of things that are actually not normal.
Right. I hear you. So we have a lot of work to do, and we need to get to the preschools and to start, right? If this is still the case, I know the Junkanoo thing, definitely we all knew about that when we were growing up. Oh? Wow. Okay. Well, look at that. So no one should be surprised, right? Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? Hi. Good morning. Good morning, caller.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Yes, first off, let me thank you for the past 30 years for piloting these turbulent airwaves.
13. 13. Yeah. Ooh. No. Oh, yeah. Sometimes feels like 30.
Quite charming, genuine, and very tasteful. The nice
you.
Dwight. The nice Dwight. The Papa Dwight could get kind of,
What?
stringent.
Who's that?
But, no, I called, I said this before on there a couple years ago when Tej was on. I asked the question, why do you put this violence and this I guess, this very debasing news on the front page? Because, these things happen in the hotels all the time, and I would dare to say more sinister things, but they never make the front line because it's a private issue. So why would you want to hurt the small Bahamian, these jet ski operators and most of the people who work in the public service, they barely made it out of high school. Most of them have criminal records, and they're trying to change their lives. There may be one or two bad apples, but I don't think it needs to be on the front page for the world to see. That's an internal issue to say, keep whatever in the marriage between you and the wife. I don't agree with that. Maybe it'd be a better political way to deal with it. But it's nothing new, like you said. It's been happening from the beginning of time. But we need to handle it in a better way because nowadays the media is too widespread and we don't know the impact it will have on such a booming economy we have now. But again, thank you for your service and thanks for taking my call.
Okay. Thank you. Interesting take on it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if sexual assault should be something that you hide away. Bahamians getting impacted by this as well, right? I think that's part of the problem. That's why, like what the previous caller said, that we just try to turn a blind eye and think that that's just how it is. Why we continue to have these issues. I don't know. But an interesting take, I understand, the damage it could cause to the wider tourism sector. But we need to send a strong message that this is not good. You just can't touch people. Women can't. Don't do it. Don't do it. There's another crazy story in the paper today about this man who touched his niece while teaching her how to drive caressed her thigh and hugged her and kissed her while giving her driving lessons. And that's creepy enough, but the court matter, he's been ordered to pay her $5,000. That's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. What's going on? What are we doing? Let's squeeze this call in. Call, you got like 20 seconds, really quickly, only because it's our anniversary.
Strachan, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, you're always squeezing me in. You know, the thing is, Mr. Strachan, imagine if the person has bad breath. Those type of scenarios are very sickening. But like you said, anything goes. I've seen a migrant traveling between the traffic heading south on Blue Road and the northbound lane. I saw it this morning. I saw a guy going crazy just west of Ms. Hannah's office early yesterday evening. I saw a guy in the middle of the street on Market Street just almost get knocked down. These people are out of their mind. Why are they subjecting us to these things? And as it relates to the jet ski scenarios with the rapes, right? I kind of lean on what the last caller say. So, you know, I hate rape and it's barbaric, but I'm thinking now, just counterintuitively, that maybe some entities are really trying to destroy the jet ski industry because these things been going on, I don't know, exchanging or robbery, but I like to have an open mind all the time because the jet ski operators can't be that naive and dumb.
Why not? Why not? Laverne, are you there?
Hello, can you
Oh,
hear
there.
me?
Now we can hear. Yes, really quickly. Got about 20 seconds.
Yeah. No. I was just going to say in terms of the last caller on 52 just now, when we talk about the jet ski operators and, you know, it's impacting their livelihood. This isn't hush-hush. America, the U.S. is already doing an advisory. So this isn't hush-hush. And I don't think that it ought to be hush-hush. And I'm not in terms of tourists, this is a danger. Whomever is doing this is a danger to anyone who decides that they're going to rent a jet ski.
Yeah. Because you don't always know who's a tourist. I mean, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, doesn't matter at all. I don't know if anyone's trying to destroy the industry, but I think some of the folks involved, and it's not going to be everybody, of course,
Who regulates that industry?
Who regulates anything around here? Who regulates anything around here? But again,
I'd be interested, you know.
These folks have to learn how to police themselves. When they see people who are acting unusually, deal with them. Report them. Don't just let anything go. So we can.
And let me also say, I don't want to seem like it's victim blaming, but also I'm just saying that we have to use wisdom. Don't think that because you come to a country and it's idyllic and it's all of this, you know, just still make good choices.
Yeah, absolutely.
In terms of, don't go on a jet ski with someone that's going to take you to wherever.
Well, sometimes they don't know, but still, we everybody's got to be exercising good judgment here.
Right.
All right.
And if you feel uncomfortable, go with that.
Yeah.
Go with that feeling.
Laverne, we're out of time. Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here.
Pleasure. Happy anniversary.
Thank you. And thank you again, all of you listeners and advertisers, sponsors, everybody for helping us. Everybody who's been on with me all these 13 years and all the crew, everybody, our producers and the sales team, everybody here at the Nassau Guardian, the news team, everybody, thank you so much for helping to get Guardian Radio here and Morning Blend here. 13 years.
Today is a special day we call our own. So take me in your arms and hold me and tell me you love me and I'll be there for you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9.